Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Weiss. A lot of people here in Chicago know me by my better known name of Mutty Weiss. And if you look in all the advertisements that we had done to publicize this event, I had made sure that they put the word Mutty in there because it's very important for me that everybody here know who I am and recognize who I am. Not that I'm so famous, but Chicago, as many people know, is particularly meaningful for me because I grew up here. And my story ostensibly happened here or while I was during the time of my life when I lived here. A lot of people know me, a lot of people know my parents, and so it has special significance for me, something which I'll come back to a drop later as I tell my story. So first of all, just so that everybody knows my story, when I grew up here in Chicago. My father was a Rebbe here in one of the yeshivas in Chicago. And I was one of those kids, of course I didn't think of it till the second to wonder if any of my teachers were here from back then, but I was one of those kids. I wasn't necessarily a problem child. I wasn't, I wasn't out there stealing cars or breaking windows or anything like that. I just simply was not living life exactly the way my parents, hashkafa, had envisioned that I would lead. So as a result, I had a little trouble simply just finding my place in society, finding my place in which yeshiva I would be in. So as a result of the first yeshiva that I had gone to, did not want me to come back. They figured they ultimately wanted me to go somewhere else first before they would allow me to come back to more just find myself and work out several things. And as a result, my parents were not sure what to do. So as a lot of people do, especially in the yeshivish communities, you go ask an eitzah from somebody who knows things, etc. So my parents ultimately it was recommended to my parents that a fellow who also grew up in this town, who everybody either knew or certainly knew back then, a fellow named Avremel Manderovitz. His parents used to live here. We used to go to his father's shtibel a few blocks from our house. So by this point, he was living in New York with his family, etc. And he had a reputation for having the ability to, get children. I mean, it's sort of a sick pun to say that now, but, he had a connection with children. He was a very charming individual, and so he was known as sort of the go-to guy, the therapist, the guy to go ahead and inspire children to, and help them with their problems. And so at this point, he had lived in New York City with his family. And so my father called him and arranged for me to go there to, to be whatever it was going to be. And it was all very Hamish. It was sure, I'd love to help him, and of course he could stay at our house, no problem, etc. It was very cozy.